Good morning. This is Arlene Arnold, and I'm here with the focus of the week of October 1st. So the card that came up for this week is Love Child from the Luminaries set. For those of you who have the Luminaries, go to page 8, and you can see in this all these beautiful colors. Look at the pink and the darker pink, which goes to almost to a magenta. And you see the light blue and the light green, and look at all of the hearts that are part of this. So this is a very heart-centered luminary, and pink is really, for me, one of the colors that is in the heart, even though it's not the chakra color of the heart. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Love Child because it's such an important frequency for us right now, especially us in the United States, but I think around the world as well. So what's happening is that we have to take a look at our innocence. You know, innocence is how most of us are born. I think some come in maybe not with that same kind of innocence. But this innocence is all about that part of us that trusts and that knows. And that changes over time because of the messages that child gets, and also because of the things that happen in our lives. Now, what we have observed is there are a lot of things coming up about ways in which people have been abused, and in particular women, but I think this is bringing up issues for everyone. And this really has to do with an abuse of innocence. And I really want us to understand that we are responsible for our innocence. Now, this isn't usually possible when you are small, when you're a child and you're dependent on your parents. It is possible now as we're grown up. So I want to read a little bit from Love Child, which is the luminary that we're working with. But then I also want to talk to you a little bit about innocence. So what came to me as I was writing this book was for Love Child was protect your innocence with your discernment that knows what is safe and what is not, that knows what is healthy and what is not, that knows when others are helpful and when they are not. Then wrap seriousness in cotton candy while you explore the world with childlike wonder. You know, many of us have lost our childlike wonder because the world has not been safe. So we want to reclaim that, but in a mature innocence. And that means that we're using our discernment. Okay, so let's look at what that means. We come in with an innocence, a love, a joy in the earth and everything that's there. And in many cases, we're just a joyful being here. And then things start happening to us, and basically we lose that joy in us. And what I've found in working with people is sometimes that innocence that is a child, it leaves your whole energy field. It isn't even to be found. You have to go and look for it. And sometimes I find that it goes into the body in some place in the physical body, and it's just like, I don't know, it goes into that curled up state, and it's there and it's being scared. So we have to find that part of ourselves, because here's the rest of what came through. Prepare the way for Love Child. So Love Child is this consciousness that's in this luminary, and it's here to help us, but we have to prepare the way. So prepare the way for Love Child by bringing home the innocent child self that has been so buffeted by life's experiences. Remove the sign it carries that says to those around, take advantage of me or take care of me. Now, see, what happens is if we don't take care of that innocent self, it looks outside of us for someone to care for us. And that's appropriate when we're a child. But as we get older, we give away our ability to take care of that child ourselves. And when we have not taken care of that innocent part of us, we become vulnerable. And those who might be predators recognize that. And it's almost like a sign in our energy field that says, take advantage of me or take care of me. And that is not appropriate. We as adults need to reclaim that child and take care of it. So here's the rest of it. Take responsibility for life through your discernment and through your choices so that this little one feels safe within your nurturing strength. How many times have you made choices that put yourself at risk? You know, when we're not using our discernment, we sometimes make choices that really don't pay attention to what our intuition is telling us inside. Because our intuition will say, don't go down that street, it's not safe. Or our intuition will say, you need to stay home today. And I find if I don't pay attention to that, I get sick. So what we have to do is get more conscious so we stay aware of that intuition. So take responsibility for life through your discernment and through your choices so that this little one feels safe within your nurturing strength. Love child may then tiptoe in, spreading its peace and harmony like warm honey sweetening the most painful emotions, surrounding and healing wounds too deep to fathom, gathering all to infinite source. So it's like we have wounds in us, many of us, that are so deep and they affect our whole life. And so these need to be healed. And part of it is bringing home this innocent child self and taking care of it and letting it know that we can nurture it. And that then brings this child back into our heart. And in that heart, it's connected with the whole of the universe of love. So it's like we have to take on that responsibility. And it's not a difficult responsibility because we already love that part of ourselves. We just don't know how to help take care of it. So then living from the strength of innocence, that means when we bring that child self back and we're nurturing it and we're paying attention to our intuition, so we're using our discernment, then that means we can live in the strength of innocence. Living from the strength of innocence means accepting self and others even while being judged, choosing from infinite possibilities without restrictions, and living with no expectations, no expected outcomes. All is given and received without strings attached, a gift of love. And that's part of what this innocent self teaches us, because it has a great understanding. From the time it came into this world, it has this understanding, but it lost it because of its experiences here. So we can reclaim that, and we can use our intuition to keep this really vulnerable part of us safe. And at the same time, it will teach us how to trust ourselves and to trust what we know about ourselves and to not be taken into doubt. And then choosing from infinite possibilities, don't restrict yourself. Don't say, no, I can't do that if that's what you're really being drawn to do. You know, live without expectations or expected outcomes. Live in the now moment that says, this is what I know is right for me. And whatever comes from that will also be right for me. All is given and received without strings attached, a gift of love. So we give from love. We receive from love. We are love. And this child self is so important to us. So if you feel like your child self isn't even in your energy field, go find it or ask the angels to find it, because sometimes the child doesn't trust you. So you have to find someone that it trusts, and usually it will trust the angels, and have them bring that child self back into your arms, into your love, so that you can say to this child, I understand I abandoned you. I am so sorry. And just bring this child back in and give it the love that you have for it. And the same thing, if it's in some part of your body and it's rolled up in a little ball, you can just go to it and say, it's okay. I understand. You're part of me. Come back. Be with me. I love you. So this is our work for this week. Find out what's happening with your child self. Are you using your discernment? Be that nurturing self to that innocent part of you. And we can learn from all the upheaval that we have experienced because it brings things up for us and for lots of other people. So we need to have compassion for ourselves and compassion for others and learn how to really embrace that part of us that is our innocence and our joy. So I wish you a wonderful week with your innocent child self.